3, 2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7. Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, the 1st of June 2020, and happy birthday to Morgan Freeman, Heidi Klum, Alanis Morissette, and Spider-Man Tom Holland.
7.
In the UK, the government is charging ahead with an easing of the lockdown, even though senior health officials have said that the science does not support such an easing, and there was real concern over photos of packed beaches at the weekend. But Dominic Raab says we can't stay in lockdown forever.
We can't just stay in lockdown forever. We've got to transition, and the more we transition through careful steps, the more I think we'll build up confidence in the approach we're taking.
Today, many schools are due to reopen for reception, Year 1 and Year 6. But many parents are expected to keep their kids at home. At yesterday's Downing Street briefing, Housing Secretary Robert Jenrick says not all children should return to school, especially if they're shielding.
I think it's important to explain who is shielding. Over 90,000 are actually children, and they sadly will not be able to return to school tomorrow if their year group is.
6.
It's been an insane weekend in the United States as protests and riots spread across many cities after the killing by police of George Floyd 7 days ago. Protests continue to escalate throughout the weekend, despite curfews and appeals by governors for calm. In Washington, fires have been raging with huge crowds gathering outside the White House, which meant that the Secret Service moved Donald Trump to a bunker for his own safety. Killer Mike, rapper and member of Outkast, spoke out in Atlanta and encapsulated the rage and frustration.
I'm mad as hell. I woke up wanting to see the world burn down yesterday because I'm tired of seeing black men die. He casually put his knee on a human being's neck for 9 minutes as he died like a zebra in the clutch of a lion's jaw. And we watch it like murder porn over and over again. So that's why children are burning to the ground. They don't know what else to do. And it is the responsibility of us to make this better right now.
There were some police forces who tried a different approach. Here's the police chief in Flint, Michigan.
I took my helmet off and laid the batons down. I want to make this a parade, not a protest. You got little ones here, you got dogs, so what's up? So listen, I'm just telling you, these cops love you. That cop over there hugs people, so you tell us what you need to do.
Walk with us! Walk with us! Walk with us!
Let's walk! Let's walk!
5.
It's been disturbing to watch the police reaction in the US, with the Chinese government delighting across the weekend at the poor handling of the US protests after much criticism of their approach in Hong Kong. The Chinese foreign minister even tweeted, "I can't breathe." Disturbingly, US police forces also appeared to target the press, with a CNN crew arrested live on air and another reporter blinded in one eye by a gas pellet, along with multiple reports of reporters hit by rubber bullets.
Hi, so this is Molly Hennessy-Fisk with the LA Times. I was just at the 5th Precinct with a group of media. There was at least a dozen of us there, TV, still photo, and print. We identified ourselves as press, and they fired tear gas canisters on us at point-blank range.
Protests in support took place from Berlin to London. Here's the crowd in Trafalgar Square.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe! I can't breathe! I can't breathe! 4.
The one bright spot in the US over the weekend was the first successful launch of a manned spaceflight from US soil in 9 years. NASA and lovable Elon Musk's SpaceX teamed up to put 2 astronauts into space on Saturday evening.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff of the Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon. Go NASA. Go SpaceX. Godspeed, Bob and Doug.
America has launched.
3.
Back in the UK, as lockdown gets rapidly unlocked, horse racing's due to return next, and excitement is building for the return of the Premier League on June the 17th. Here's Jamie Redknapp on Sky Sports News.
the football's not ideal because there's no crowd, and the crowd makes such a difference when you play as a fella. When they're there and they're forcing you to make challenges, to run forward, to block a tackle, we are going to miss that element of football. And it will make us probably appreciate when the crowds are allowed to come back even more. But for now, I think I'll take anything. I just want to see some live sport back on the menu.
With the protests in the US, there have been a number of strong voices, from Taylor Swift to Ariana Grande, Billie Eilish and Chrissy Teigen, who donated over $200,000 to fund bail for protesters. But not every celeb got the tone right, though. I'm looking at you, David Guetta, who appeared over the weekend and, just wait for the drop.
And I made a special record. So this record is in honor of George Floyd. And I really hope we can see more unity and more peace when already things are so difficult. So, shout out to his family.
As lockdown eases, one of our favourite parts of the weekend is wrapping up. The nation's sweetheart, Sophie Ellis-Bextor, has been live from her kitchen for the last 10 weeks, singing and charming the nation with a combination of karaoke and parenting. And this was her farewell from Friday night.
Thank you so much, and also from Richard behind the camera. I can't wait to see your lovely faces one of these days. We will when we can.
This has been the Smart 7. Stay safe, stay distant, and please wash those hands. We are on Alexa now. You can enable the Smart 7 and add us as a flash briefing. We're back tomorrow at 7. Please like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Rule of 3, where people who make funny stuff talk about something funny that they love.
Because I remember as a kid thinking that's a really good old-fashioned gag, but it's also nasty.
The actual VHS, this is clearly sufficiently important to me that this went to house moves as well.
There is that joy and that slight fear as well about who's going to say what.
Everything from Airplane to Bottom.
From When Harry Met Sally to The Muppets.
Trying is good, aiming high is good, being ridiculous and not being afraid of failure is good.
I think that joke is so fucking funny.
Again, I just think this is hysterical. It's beautiful stuff.
Rule of 3 from Great Big Owl.